Well, the play is a one-man show, and it's a monologue that I adapted from a short story of mine called Cologne, or The Ways Evil Enters the World. I wrote it about 10 years ago, which at this point in time is somewhere around 1999, 2000. I wrote it first as a short story. I had an instinct when I wrote it that it would actually work as a theater piece. So I went to my director at the time, David Schweitzer, and I read it for him. He helped me adapt it to the stage. One of the influences for this play is the novel The Go-Between, which has a famous first line: "The past is a foreign country. They do things differently there." My initial impulse to call it Cologne had to do, first of all, with the Pandora's box sort of idea. My plan was to create a series of stories based on the five senses, and that when the senses are engaged, there's almost a world that erupts from the senses or emerges from the senses. So I thought at first I would tell this olfactory sense, smelling cologne, which brought back all these memories.
Harry shaved and splashed himself with high karate. At 10 minutes to 9, the doorbell rang. Being early was a good sign. Harry answered the door barefoot in white t-shirt and chinos. "Hey, come on in. Just throw your stuff down anywhere."
The actor Harry Hart-Browne is somebody I went to college with, and I've known him for nearly 40 years. I've always been very influenced by the kind of work he does, his fearlessness in terms of his emotional revealing of himself. So when he came to me and said that he would be interested in doing my play Cologne, I was very excited right from the get-go.
"Wait a minute, H. Wait a minute," said Ford. "You said Bobby Crane's around now?" "I don't know. I think so. Why?" "Get him over your house tonight. We'll have a little party." "No, Ford. No, I'm up Schitt's Creek as it is. Come on. Come on. We'll just have a little fun. Nothing troublesome. We'll just give him a little fag test and send him home." "What's a fag test?" Turley asked suspiciously. "You get him to look at his fingernails, see if they're clean or dirty. If he bends them like this, he's one of us. But if he turns them up like this, he's a fag."
I had betrayed someone who I was involved with because I was afraid that I was going to be revealed as a gay man or as a gay boy. And in 1965, and around the time of the play, that was not acceptable. It was really important for me at the time, when I wrote this 10 years ago, to reveal that I carried this self-loathing in myself when I was a boy. I hated myself for being what I was because I knew that there was no way I could be accepted by society at large. And as a result of that self-loathing and that fear about that part of my identity, I set up a situation in which somebody I was involved with was beaten, was bashed. And that was awful, and I regret it. And the only way I've been able to heal it is by speaking about it. And I speak about it in the play.
Bobby was silent. "You know what? I didn't know they let fags in D.C. Bobby's body stiffened. "Shut up, Hurley, okay? Just shut up." "What? Oh. I guess that's what D.C. stands for. Dick crazed." Bobby looked at Harry. "What is this?" "Nothing. They're just fucked up." "Come on, guys. Fuck off, okay? Just fuck." And then exactly what Harry didn't want to happen was happening. Fork rushed forward quickly.
The history of this production, of the play, actually, well, I did it first myself for a number of years, in Los Angeles a number of times, in New York, in Miami, etc. And what I found was that people, gay or straight, responded to this story because of what it says about self-loathing, what it says about fear of our identities. And people, a lot of straight people, a lot of straight men and straight women actually said, you know, this is an important story for me to hear. It's important to know that that someone had this experience because either they had something in their past that related to it, or there was a correspondent experience in their youth that they could relate to.